Hi, welcome to day 41 of Stay at Home with Stanley. And today we thought we'd teach you a little trick that I think will be quite useful if ever you need to go to the vets. So we were talking about the other day, I will use, when I go to the vets, I'll use my hand touch sometimes. Generally I use my chin rest. We were talking about the other day, got a nice chin rest. I do a lap, so the dog rests their chin in my lap while they're perhaps waiting in the waiting room or want to chill out. I'll obviously teach them a lot of settles, so they'll be used to settling down in different places. And that when I do a lot of handling, I'll also be making sure that as I handle different parts of their body when I'm at home, I say the words. It's a really good tip. So when you are doing some grooming or something and you are perhaps checking his ears, smelling his ears, you will say the word ears. When you check his paws and between his paw pads, you'll say the word paws, etc. Whether you then need to go to the vets, really useful because the dog is used to the part of the body that's going to be examined, they know what it means. So my dogs have to have an annual eye test, and when they go to have their eye test, because they've got a really good chin rest, they'll do a good chin rest, and I will say to them eyes, and they know that the vet's going to look in their eyes. Not saying they love it, but they will tolerate it, and they're quite calm while it's happening, and then obviously I'll reward them really well while I'm training and afterwards. So I put all these practices in place so that it's really useful. I always say it's like putting money in a bank. So you're regularly training it at home and in fun and relaxing places, so when you do need it in a place that's a bit more perhaps stressful, like going to the vets, the dog just thinks, well, I've taken a £10 withdrawal, but I've got lots of money in the bank. So today I want to try and see if I can teach Stanley to open his mouth so that I can look inside his mouth. So for example, if I thought something was stuck in his mouth, we don't ever do anything with like throwing sticks or anything, but say he got something stuck in the roof of his mouth, he was choking or something, I want to be able to open his mouth. So, do you want to sit down for me? Not give me a big kiss? Good boy. Good boy, sit. So, lots of different stages to this. Click it or mark a word, whichever you want to do. Sammy really likes to carry my clicker. The first thing you're going to do is take a little piece of food in your hand, teeny piece, and make sure your hand's like this and your other fingers are out of the way. So I'm going to go towards Stanley, and each of these I'm going to do, you'll do at least 10 repetitions of this. 5 and 5 is a good way of doing it. So go towards him, the moment he opens his mouth, click and release the food. So one more time, you go towards him with the food like this, opens his mouth, click and release the food. Okay, so it's really only the opening of the mouth to release the food that you're going to get for that first set of repetitions. The second set of repetitions will be a piece of food in your mouth, and what you'll want to feel is that the top, so if my finger is like this, that his teeth are here, touching the top of your finger like that. So click, because I can feel his teeth touching the top. Click. So that you'd repeat for 10. This time what I'm going to look for is for him slightly opening his mouth. So as you practice it each time, and each of these I'd have a little break in between, so you might do some one day and have a break and do it the next day. Don't do it all in one go. I'm just kind of fast forwarding it for you. So here we're going to look for open mouth. So I'm going to put my, whoops, she said, dropping the treat. That wasn't very clever, was it? Shall we get one that's a bit bigger so it doesn't fall out my fingers? So I'm going to just see if I can get a little bit of open mouth, which I haven't got yet. He's going to want to nibble it. So we'll try again. So we'll try again. Try again. So what I'm actually going to do is going to take the food out and put it in my clicker hand, so that when he opens his mouth, I'm going to release the food, because I want to get rid of that lure quite quickly, and he's being very mouthy like that. Click. The moment he opens his mouth, I can release and give him a piece of food. So if you keep the food in your hand for too long, what happens is the dog becomes quite foodie, particularly when you've got a Labrador. So I have a piece of food in my other hand, in my clicker hand. So if you can see, I've got kind of food hidden in the same hand as I've got my clicker. Let me get a couple more pieces, so I've got a few more pieces ready. I know, they're really good. So finger the same way, like this. And what I'm doing is, I often do two because it's a bit easier. That, click, lovely. I think you can see that really nicely open his mouth. No food there, more like to open his mouth and wait for that click. So same thing. Click, lovely, opens his mouth. So all you're going to do as you practice this is the dog will get used to opening his mouth further and further and further. Eventually what I want to be able to do is not have my hands going near his mouth, just do that, and that is his cue to learn to open his mouth. That will probably be a stage 2 video that we'll do. So a couple more repetitions. Each of these, I say, you do at least 10 times. I'm just fast forwarding. So put it towards his mouth. Lovely, can you see it really opened his mouth there? And you click for that duration of keeping his mouth open. So one more. Oh, he says I'm not doing that, ready? Oh, And I find sometimes when I put my hand towards there, it's a different, so I'm going to try different hand positions. You might find that if you go in, like, the thing is you want to be able to do that, so that's what you're trying to get to. So I'll do it one more time. Yeah, that was a little bit timid, wasn't it? Should we do one more? Come here. Let's move your position. Sit. Good boy. I'm going to pretend I've got food. He's going, I just want to just get some food back. Should we go again? Get a nice clip. Yes. It's a little bit messy, that one. But we had a nice good one earlier, and I need to do more repetitions of this because this is the stage we've got to. He knows to open his mouth. I want him to open. The other thing to think about with this is you don't want the dog to open his mouth really wide for it to be awkward. A little small opening of the mouth. He's only a small puppy, so I don't want him to put strain on his jaw. So we want this to be a fun thing, and then I'll do a bit of playing so he enjoys it, and then we'll do it again. But then we can start to put the word, that will be my cue for opening, and I'll have the word teeth probably, because that's the easiest thing for him to learn. So we thought it was Saturday night, quite a nice way of teaching him something that will be useful when you need to go to the vets or you need to check inside his mouth. Another thing to consider, which is worth thinking about, is I've done a canine first aid course. So if you're a dog owner with one dog or more dogs, if you're obviously a dog trainer, it'd be useful. I know there's a few dog trainers that are following this page. But I think it's really useful to have done some first aid. And often if you do those courses, they'll talk about how they'll make you examine inside the mouth. I do mine with Rachel Bean. She's fantastic. So anyway, have a great Saturday night. We are going to go and have a chill out. My husband is home from hospital, so we've had a lovely day, and the dogs are all going to come in the lounge and have a little bit of time out, aren't we, Stanley? You're going to come up, Bob? Good boy, sit. You're going to say bye-bye to everybody? Are you? You're a good boy. You're a good boy. Yes, you are. You're a very good boy. Have a lovely Saturday, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.